So when someone registers for a piece of content or registers for a demo, how are you then opening that conversation? Ties quite nicely into spin selling, because it's all about, you know, pitching in a very prospect centric way, and then asking questions which are all about the prospect rather than like me, learning about their process, etc. But yeah, Hanain, starting with you, like, what are you doing? How are you starting conversations with people in different job roles?
Definitely. So it goes back to the point that we mentioned before about before any reach out, it's always dependent on the research of the persona and what they want to achieve from it as well. So for example, we deal with like CFOs, CEOs, HR, COOs, all those sorts of roles, and understanding what their intentions and their role is within the company. So for example, we adapt our approach dependent on the CFO as opposed to maybe a HR member, because the decision maker within the company may differ from the actual stakeholders using the platform. So an example of that is the CEO may come to us, book in the demo, and actually have a discovery call with myself. But it would be his HR team that actually used it and uses the tool to for the admin sort of side. And when actually reaching out, so for example, two key personas that we reach out is to CFOs. And one thing that we've actually started doing is utilizing voice notes and videos. And this is generally towards the end of a sequence or at the end of like some sort of cadence. And this is like a super personalized approach in which we know that these CFOs and CEOs get tons and tons of emails regarding they've just raised or whatever, which kind of shoots us in the foot because our Cap Desk is all about managing private equity when they do fundraise. So we don't want to get lost in all of that, all of the other sort of noise. So utilizing voice notes and videos has been really prosperous for us because it adds a sort of like unique touch to it where they don't have to spend 5 minutes reading an email, testimonials and stuff like that. They feel like that we genuinely care. And when we do reach out to personas, we reach out with the intention of there is a genuine use case for them. So when we try to provide that value in terms of voice notes and actual videos, by providing that value and showing them what they could be doing and what other things that may interest them, that's really hard hitting for them. And it really does show and build up that sort of trust, because we don't take a very hard salesy role. We take a consultative approach where we always add value.
I'll second that, Hanain. Voice notes and videos. So many people are so skeptical of videos, and I completely understand that. And don't get me wrong, when I first started doing videos, it took me about, if I'm being honest, probably about 20 goes just to do my first video. But once you get your first video done, and especially now, you know, everyone's on Zoom, everyone is so used to this kind of camera time. So I think I'd say it takes me about 1.5 minutes to do research on a prospect, and then to record a video it takes a minute. So I'd say, yeah, don't be afraid to be creative, whichever persona you're reaching out to. I've seen a lot of success. A lot of people, you know, have the impression that prospects within the tech industry, for example, so our product is very, very technical, and people have the perception that actually techies don't really like videos and voice notes or whatever, and you know, you have to be so much more direct and straight to the point. Yeah, you can be straight to the point, you can do it over video, it doesn't have to be in an email. A couple of tips on that is always keep your videos to under 60 seconds. That's key. No one wants to look at your face for more than a minute unless it's a webinar. But also, you know, talk to them about them. And if you're using something like Vidyard, which we'll go into later on, is share your screen of their LinkedIn profile as opposed to just having your face on the screen. There are technologies out there now that actually allow you to do that. So you can be sharing a screen whilst you're recording and have a little circle in the corner with just your face on it, talking to them about them and their role and their ambitions, etc., etc.